Before it was a fashion statement, cornrows can be traced back to slavery, not only as a simple or neat way to keep their hair, but braids were often used to communicate messages and maps. The need for that code was to keep certain information from getting into the wrong hands. For example, a certain number of braids may mark an escape route or signal a time to meet. According to an article written by Maya Allen, celebrity stylist Larry Sims mentions the origin of braids can be traced back 5,000 years in African culture to 3500 BC. They were very popular among women. Since then, while being popular, the evolution of braiding has been amazing. Today, we are here to discuss how to achieve a cornrow, an individual braid, and the versatility people can have with them. Braiding is not something that I've always knew how to do. The most I can do was a little plait or a pigtail. It was not until I reached high school that I realized it was an extremely useful skill to have. Back when I was younger, YouTube was around, but it was not utilized as much as it is now. I started off learning by asking questions and watching others closely when they were braiding. Everyone has different flows and techniques they tend to use. After lots of failed attempts and tons of practice, I eventually got to the point where I can do more complex styles while also adding in additional braiding hair to instantly add length. First, the key to braiding is a good foundation. Parting matters. The way you lay out your parts on a head is very important. Personally, I detangle the hair and section them into 4 parts, sometimes 2, depending on the style that I'm looking to accomplish. From there, it's a lot easier to map out additional parts the way that they are supposed to go. After you set up parting, you're prepared to braid. Next, you determine where you would like to start. My preference is to start at the back of the head for individual braids, and for cornrows, I start at the top or on the side. It's easier for me to see what I am doing like that, but it also helps me keep the extra hair out the way as I go. For the cornrow, I start from the beginning of the parted hair and separate it into 3 pieces. Then I take piece number 2, or the middle piece, and pull it over piece number 3. Then you're going to grab the piece now in the middle and bring that over top of piece number 1. You do this motion as you continue to grab more hair and weave along the part to eventually form a braid. And here I will finish doing a cornrow. This is just a basic cornrow. I would also like to show you a video by Fashion the Braider. This is a stitch braid. This is similar to a cornrow, except you part horizontally as you braid with either your finger or a comb, leaving the outcome to resemble a stitch. Another type of braid I would like to bring up is a knotless braid. This would be an individual braid. The reason why it's referred to as a knotless braid is because when you use the braiding hair, you feed it in as you braid so that it is flat at the base as pictured. Knotless braids have become very popular, not only because they are a cute protective style, but because they have less bulk compared to the box braid. And I will show you an example of a box braid. And these are the box braids, which do have a knot at the base, unlike the knotless. A bonus technique I'd like to discuss is achieved by using the beading tool. First, you slip on the beads. Then you slide your hair through this loop here. Once you push the beads onto the braid, you remove the tool. Then you tie a rubber band around the braid to seal. Now we just gave our basic cornrow a little pizzazz. Beaded styles are cute for the kiddies, especially to add a little fun. In conclusion, that was only a few of the many styles one can choose when wanting braids. And although braiding may seem a bit difficult or confusing at first, don't let that stop you. Like all skills, it takes time to learn, perfect, and master. Eventually, you will find your own flow to be able to help a newbie learn too.